Welcome to the Solutions Marine Podcast. I'm Brendan. I'm joined digitally by Rob and Steve.
That was one hell of a cold open.
We're trying to learn from SNL. They've been on for God knows how long, so maybe it's the way to go.
Years. It's the 1970s when they started.
What are we talking about today, boys?
It's an excellent question.
We could talk about the small show we're doing this weekend.
Yeah, that's usually more of an end of the episode thing, so that people can they have to listen to the whole thing to know where we're going to be.
I mean, we mentioned it. We can say okay, so someone's doing 60 jumps for their 60th birthday on Saturday at Beiseker,
which is insane.
60 parachute jumps, we should say. The guy's going to jump out of an airplane 60 times.
Yeah, he's not jumping rope 60 times.
or parkouring 60 times. Doing jump and parkour and then going off of another skate ramp on a park or something like that.
So I'm actually kind of excited to go to this just because I want to see what it takes. I've never gone skydiving before, so I want to see what it takes to jump 60 times in one day. That's insane.
So for those who haven't listened to our previous episodes, the event is being held at the Beiseker Airport on Saturday, the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be going on for most of the day, but they do have a barbecue planned around lunchtime. It's being run through the Flying Monkey restaurant, and I believe they're selling tickets for that. They have a huge para-jumping establishment at the airport there, so it's and it's not a huge airport, so if you get to the airport, you'll be able to find out where everything is.
Yeah, June 24th, 2023, just so that, just because we say the 24th, that doesn't mean if you're listening to this in December and someone's not jumping on Christmas Eve, so.
Yeah, June 24th, 2023.
True. Well, there probably will be somebody jumping on the 24th, because that just talking to the parajumper guys, they kind of seems like the kind of thing they do, but it won't be this big event.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're providing beer for the event, which is part of the big reason why we're talking about it, and we're pretty excited about that. We're also going to be on site and doing some off sales while the whole thing is going on, so that's great. I got to meet the jumper on Monday when I dropped off the beer. It was a very interesting guy to meet. He did 50 jumps for his 50th birthday 10 years ago, and he managed to do that in just over 4 hours. Which is incredible. They had a slightly different setup, a slightly different airport, different altitude, so he was able to jump from a little bit of a lower altitude and still do it safely. He had 2 planes going, all this great stuff. So he'll be taking a little bit more time to do the 60 jumps on Saturday, but it's still going to be a hell of an event to witness. And he was planning on 6 minutes between jumps, so we'll see how close he gets to that.
Okay, so if he's doing it in
if he did 50 jumps in 4 hours, that's 12 and a half jumps an hour. That's insane.
Yep.
Wow. So the 6 minutes, is that him getting up, jumping out of the plane, and then landing, and then he scurries over, gets a new backpack, and then gets onto the next plane?
Yep.
Holy man.
So this guy has been jumping for a long time. He's the chief jump instructor there.
I would hope so if he's that experienced.
Well, yes, but so his ability to land where he wants to land is.
You said he's going to take 6 minutes to jump. That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
So that's 6 jumps an hour. So he's planning to.
So that's 10 jumps an hour, which would be 6 hours. But he's going to do 10. I assume there's time for bathroom breaks and having lunch and.
No, that's ridiculous.
you eat on the way down.
No, you eat in the plane on the way up, buddy.
No, half a sandwich on the way up and then half a sandwich on the way down.
And you just gotta power it. It's all blended. It's sandwich is just in the blender and then just slam it.
Man. No puree sandwich. No.
We'll see how he does it. But it's going to be pretty exciting. But yeah, so apparently for the 50 on 50, he was landing basically on the grass area between the runway and the taxiway. The airplane would be there on the runway, prop spinning. He'd throw his kit off, grab the new kit, secure it, and be doing his checks in the airplane on the way up to altitude.
Oh, that's crazy.
and then he'd be out again. Yeah. So it's definitely, I'm excited to see this guy work. He was a cool guy to talk to, and some of the things he's done sound incredible. Now, I've never jumped out of an airplane and don't really want to, but
I like flying the plane. I don't like jumping out of the plane. So
yeah,
you're not gonna be like that YouTuber that intentionally crashed his plane for the views.
exactly. That's another stupid thing. Holy cow! Like,
Yeah, slight tangent because it was, I think, about 2 weeks ago. He actually got charged, or the verdict was announced in his case, and he's got 20 years of jail. I think it is. Yeah.
I hadn't heard that the sentence had been completed. I heard that he pled guilty.
Yeah, he pled guilty, and it was 20 years for intentionally downing an aircraft for literally for no good reason. Because it wasn't a safety thing. It wasn't. So this was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Is this the guy that landed on McKnight?
No.
No.
So this was down in the U.S.
In the U.S. Oh no, wait, it was 68th Street the guy landed on, or something like that.
Yes,
McKnight in 68th.
Yeah, there was an emergency landing in the northeast of Calgary that was pretty spectacular because the guy just missed a whole bunch of power lines too.
Yeah, he ran out of fuel or something like that. But
yeah, that's what they. The investigation hasn't wrapped up, but that's what their preliminary was saying, was that took off without sufficient fuel. Which
I thought that there was a leak because I think they went through his logs and said that he did have enough and that he ran out before he got to where he needed to go.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear that part. So maybe
that's the guy in Calgary.
Yeah.
So the guy in the States, Trevor Jacobs, his name. He's a YouTuber that films his flights and all this fancy sort of stuff all the time, and it was
used to film his flights.
Used to. Apparently, it was tied to an endorsement deal that he was going to get. So it's basically if he could get up to a certain number of views, and so he filmed him crashing his plane. And it was kind of funny because even after he filmed it, a lot of other pilot YouTubers released episodes kind of breaking down the footage, and a lot of them were like, something seems not right here, but what do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the big thing with the case that sunk him is he had GoPros in the plane that he wanted to recover.
Mm-hmm.
So he landed, he jumped out of the plane crashed, he landed with his parachute, went to go recover his film, and then left, and then had to report the plane going down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically reported it as ran out of fuel, plane went down, everybody's alive, thank God, nobody got hurt, all that sort of stuff. And transferred TSB in the States went to go investigate the crash site, because every plane crash gets investigated, because the whole point is that figure out what brought the plane down and warn every other pilot how to protect themselves from the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he had actually disposed of parts of the wreckage. He lied about not knowing where the crash was. Basically, he misled the investigation. And that's what's bringing the heavier sentence than, well, I mean, you can't intentionally crash a plane, but you also can't impede an investigation. So it's kind of doubled down on his crime.
So they're bringing down the hammer.
Oh yeah. This is one of those, this is the case to make an example of, because especially with YouTube, TikTok, and all this sort of stuff, I like watching stupid videos as much as anybody else, but that crosses the line, right?
Yeah, so he got sentenced, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and they said, 20 years for
up to 20 years.
Up to 20.
I don't know if they've actually sentenced him yet. But
see, I thought he was sentenced. Maybe it was the sensational headlines that say pilot faces 20 years in jail or something along the lines of that. But that's not reading that.
Well, and that's, they always say that they face this, but those are usually the maximum sentences. And
well, there was one other punishment on top of it, is that he would never get a pilot's license again.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, his license is gone.
Yeah. You intentionally crashed a plane for the views. You never get to fly again.
Awesome. So that will not happen at Beiseker.
No, that will not happen in Beiseker.
So we're dealing with a professional who can land exactly where he wants to land and has done a similar feat before, and he's really excited about doing 50 on his 50th and 60 on his 60th and kind of building up that record. So, and yeah, how is he going to do it? He's going to land exactly where the airplane needs him to be so that he can throw on his next kit and get back in the air as fast as possible. So
that's insane. I need to see. This is going to be interesting to see. I want to see this happen.
Well, and one of the other incredible things is that because he's got 60 sets of kit and probably like a couple spares just in case like he does his checks and it's like, oh no, this one's not gonna work. He can throw another one on in the plane or something like that. Like
I'm assuming there's got to be a team. Like he's just jumping. Someone else's stuff is packing the chute.
To pack one chute takes like a couple of hours because it has to be folded and put in a certain way and has to be like make sure that there's proper tension and that like nothing's going to get tangled or anything like that. And it's not only just that, like it's a primary chute, but it's also a reserve chute for every backpack. And then like I remember seeing a video, there's a military blogger I follow on YouTube, like 20 years in the service or whatever. And what he's doing now is he's doing interviews with the other branches of the service now that he's out. He's actually going onto an aircraft carrier this coming week. It's awesome. But he went to one of the parachuting schools in the US and was talking with them. And it's like, yeah, to do the jumps, since all the jumpers have to pack their own chutes, it's like it takes about 2 hours more when you're learning because everything has to be folded very specifically and in a certain way and has to, again, fit a certain volume.
I don't know. I feel like this is a question to ask them on the day because a quick Google says 15 minutes.
Well, and
I'm willing to, if someone knows how to do it, I'm sure they.
Yeah, someone knows how to do it, but then they're also referencing military parachutes, so maybe it's a little bit different. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I could understand the Army taking longer to do something than they need to.
Yeah, that's probably it. But even 15 minutes, like so they've been packing those kits like hopefully starting like before now and leading up.
Well, no, but if it's 15 minutes, like if you think about it, he's going to do 6 minutes per jump.
Mm-hmm.
Then you really only need to have like
you need like 3 chutes,
4 chutes packed,
3 or 4, yeah.
And then you could keep up with it. And you need people to be constantly packing on the day or have it all prepped beforehand, right?
Oh, so that'd be the question. Is everything prepped, or is it more of a we've got 10 and we're going to just keep using those 10 on the day of?
Yeah, I don't know. It's exciting. This is cool.
Is it a ticketed event, Brendan?
The barbecue portion is.
Okay.
I don't believe just being on there is ticketed.
Okay, so if anyone listening, if you're listening in time for the event, come on out to the Beiseker Airport, check it out. Grab some beers.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Beiseker. That's going to be super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You guys cut me off last week before I could talk about my latest attempt at a low ABV brew. And the first time that I brewed on the Grainfather.
Is the low ABV
the
first time you brewed on the
Grainfather?
Yes.
Yep.
It's the same thing?
Yep, same event. Because why change only one thing when you can change everything?
So, Brendan, was this a low temp mash that you were attempting for ABV?
I think we should cut him off again. We'd be like, this is Beiseker. We're talking about Beiseker. And then you know what? You're going to have to wait 2 weeks because next week we'll talk about the Beiseker event and what actually happened.
Tune in next week to find the answer to the question, how long does it take to pack a parachute?
Keep tuning in to find out how long we can delay Brendan's talk about his ABV.
And see, I was going to be nice. I had a nice question to lead into it, and you're just like, no.
20 years. No.
It's all right. By the time we finally get to it, I'll perfected the low ABV stuff on the Grainfather, and it'll actually be a tutorial on how to do it.
Yeah, by that time, I screwed up. I got this down. It's good. I got a recipe that tastes like beer. It's like
yes, the elusive thing for a brewer.
Yeah.
The recipe that tastes like beer.
A low ABV that tastes like beer, or a no ABV that tastes like beer.
No ABV. So this one, the teaser is going to be about 2.5%.
Okay, so that's day drinking beer.
Yeah, exactly. That's like super session.
But my question was originally, was this did you do a low temp match on
Nope,
this?
I'm not allowed
Did
to
you do a
talk about it
high
anymore.
That's-
We teased it enough.
No spoilers, Steve. No spoilers.
Screw you guys.
No.
Screw you guys. I can take a hit. You don't want me to talk about it, I won't talk about it.
Well, one of us is stopping it, and one of us is trying to get it. So
No.
whatever.
No, not going to do it. What else is going on in the news?
What else is going on in the news?
I don't know.
That's it, man. That's the big thing. Just Beiseker. That's her deal, man.
Like,
So the other big thing for those of you who have been desperately missing our missing piece, it is finally
back
been
in stock.
produced. It'll be
It's
back
not
in
stock
stock
yet. Very soon. It is
very
liter-
shortly
it is
after this episode
literally
releases.
sitting on the warehouse floor at our contractor last bite, waiting to get
Like,
picked up and sent.
We
to
will
us.
have some on site in Beiseker, and it'll be up to Connect.
We will
and
have some in
available in
Beiseker,
liquor
yeah.
stores about a week after that.
But those thirsty people, if they want to, can order through our own store probably this weekend.
And how would they do that?
Well, if they wanted to, they could go to our lovely website, solutionsbrewing.com, where there is a nice little tab that says, I can't remember if it says order or shop. So let me
Our
check.
store.
Yeah, our store.
Our store.
Neither.
You know,
It's-
like the easy thing. It says store, literally store.
I haven't been on to the website of our beer store. There we go. And where there, you can order beer, and one of the lovely three gentlemen on this podcast, and maybe our special intern, if we get him going on this, will deliver the beers to you on Thursdays.
Who's the special intern?
Mr. Peepa,
Brendan's a peepa.
the older Peepa.
My dad.
Yeah,
Who may be
Brendan's
doing
not-
some deliveries when we're all tied up or when he's available.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your orders in by Wednesday nights, and we'll deliver on Thursday evenings. So you have beer for the weekend.
Yeah, so right now we just have the Friends Night Out on there, but actually, Rob, we should have stock of the Kiss though for ordering.
Yes, it just hasn't been put on the store yet because I wasn't sure how many we were going to try to bring to Beiseker first.
Okay.
But now that we got that sorted out, we'll be putting that up on the website. So there will be Friends Night Out IPA, the Kiss Amber Ale, and the Missing Piece Blonde Ale will be up on the store here very soon. Probably by the time, well, maybe not by the time you hear this if you listen to this on Thursday,
But like in a day or two
for
afterwards.
the weekend, yeah, for sure it'll be up.
So one of the interesting things though is the Missing Piece is the first of our new label changes. So it's going to look remarkably different than our prior white, yellow, and black labels. It's going to be black, yellow, and blue.
Yes, the Missing Piece has, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I had to remember for a second. I'm like, okay, it's got like we're inverting the color essentially. We've got a new design, new layout. Still I was going to say a consistent logo now, which is very, very good. And our graphic designer actually put in some interesting highlight colors for all of the beers to make sure they stand out. So I've got the one can right now that's been labeled with it, and it looks striking compared to all the other ones. So I'm really excited to see it on beer shelves very soon. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's how they can get a beer. How do they contact us though about that, though, Steve?
And now they're going to make me finish it. Damn it. So if they wanted to contact us about that, they're on that same website. You can go to this great little tab called Contact. It sends an email to our primary email address, noproblems@solutionsbrewing.com. So feel free to send us a message and just say, hey, send me beer. And we'll say, we'll make it work. And you can also go to our socials, Facebook and Instagram @Solutions Brewing Co., where I am assuming that we'll have a couple pictures of planes and stuff this coming weekend coming up here. So
oh yeah, there's gonna be.
I'm assuming
some good
Brendan's
social
plane
media materials.
I'm assuming a beer can on Brendan's plane's wing, at least one of those. Maybe not in
We
the
need
cockpit.
to strap one up with a little parachute and then get the guy to throw it out when he jumps out of the plane.
Go to the dollar store and get like those little army men and get like a bunch of those tiny parachutes.
Yeah.
We have time, gentlemen. We've got like 2 days.
Oh man.
I
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
just picture a can now in like a little harness and like a parachute.
Yeah, I'm going behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
as
call it
Brendan said,
reconnaissance IPA. Yeah.
and on that note, thank you everyone for joining the podcast today. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Take care.
Take
Everyone.
care.